All right, so it's that time of the year again, and you want to know how to bulk up fast. You want to know how to get those gains as fast as possible, right? Luckily for you, I'm the guy who's gonna help you with that, right? Before I get into how you're gonna bulk up fast AF, right? Make sure you book a one-on-one coaching call. If you're looking in the best shape of your life, if you're looking to bulk up and put on some size, I'm the guy for that. I can help you with that. Hit the link in the description, and I'll be happy to work with you soon. But let's get back to this guide here, right? So welcome to Bulk 101. You already know what it is. So first step first, let's jump right into it. You want to do progressive overload, right? You probably heard progressive overload before. You're probably familiar with it. You know, it's increasing the weight. It's increasing the weight every time, making your workouts more difficult over time, right? And see, there's something called time under tension, right? I want to talk about time under tension a little bit. Time under tension, right? So the thing about time under tension, I want to talk to you guys about is like when you're in the gym and you're working out, right? A lot of times, you know, you might, as you start leveling up, you might kind of find it hard to like increase the weight. So what you got to do is that you have to actually slow down the movements, right? Because a lot of times, like I struggle with this too sometimes, and I have to stop myself. You're doing the movements too fast. You're doing it too fast, right? You got to slow it down so you can actually feel that time under tension. You got to feel that that burn, right? That's gonna help you build more muscle, right? Tear more muscle fibers and make more gains, right? So the goal with progressive overload in general is just to find out ways to make the workouts harder, right? You have to make sure you're constantly training harder, right? So that you can can't even talk to you, so that you can literally get stronger, right? That's the only way you're gonna grow, right? The second step I'm gonna go through is you gotta eat more. And you've probably already heard this before. You gotta eat more, right? But you gotta eat more like high protein like meals. So for example, a little bonus tip, no diddy, you gotta eat, I don't know if you guys can see this, you gotta eat nuts. You gotta be eating your nuts, bro. Right? And the kind of nuts I'm talking about is like peanuts, of course, right? I don't know, all you guys some sickos, you know what I'm saying? That's so you gotta get your head out of the gutter. But like, no, you gotta eat like peanuts. So basically 3-4 years ago when I was, got my pen. 3-4 years ago when I started bulking up, right? I literally wanted to put on weight. I wanted to put on muscle. So what I did was I was researching, okay, what kind of foods have a lot of protein, right? And the easiest way was just, I found that nuts had like a lot of protein in them. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think a handful of nuts is like, correct me if I'm wrong, I can't remember what it was, but it was like a really high number of protein. It was like a high amount of protein. So like, what I would do is I would have like a little baggie with a handful of nuts, and throughout the day I would like just snack on peanuts, right? I find like if you're like a hard gainer and you kind of, because a lot of you guys kind of find it hard to eat because of your appetite is not like, you don't have a high what's the word I'm looking for? You don't have a high appetite or a big appetite to eat more. You find it kind of hard to like stuff your face, right? So I would say finding like snacks with a lot of protein throughout the day, like snacking throughout the day should help you, right? So carry around like a bag of nuts, or even like, that was like my main thing, like packing like a bag of nuts. You have your whey protein. Jesus, my throat, I need some water. You have your like whey protein, mix it in with a protein shake. That was key too. What I used to do was I literally used to have a bag of nuts, with me all the time. And then I would have my protein shake either in the afternoon or in the morning, depending on my mood. And I would mix like nuts, I'd have some milk in there, my whey protein, and I'd add some some fruits, some frozen fruits, and I would add some peanut butter in there too, right? Mind you, I was kind of dirty bulking it a little bit. I was just wanted to put on some size, but that definitely helped me put on some size, right? especially if you're like a hard gainer right now and you're really struggling to put on weight, I would honestly say, like I wouldn't mind the dirty bulk if you're like a really hard gainer, but eventually once you start seeing momentum, then I would like clean it up a little bit and then, but I think as long as you're consuming enough protein, you should be able to see those gains though. You know what I mean? Like if you're consuming, I think it's 1 pound per body weight to gain muscle. 1 pound of protein per body weight to gain muscle. There we go. Got it right this time, guys. But yeah, if you're really looking to put on muscle, you got to make sure you're reaching your protein goals. And you can go through Google and do a whole calculator, type in your height and weight, and it will literally spit this information out for you, right? The next thing I want to talk about is consistency, right? You got to be consistent. You have to be consistent. Because you got to understand that, I think we're done with all this stuff already. You have to understand that summer bodies are made in the winter, right? A lot of you guys are on winter arc right now. You're celebrating winter arc. You got your hoodies up, your Sigma males, right? This is the time, right? This is the time to get that summer body, right? Because in the summertime, if you start trying to get into the best shape of your life around March, April, it's not enough time, right? But if you start now, like if you literally start now, or fourth quarter and near the end of the year, that's more than enough time to get yourself right for summer, right? You start your bulk, right? And especially if you're a newbie in the gym, you have your newbie gains too. Like if you're doing all the right things, like those newbie gains will kick in, because I think it's in your first 2 to 3 years of training, at least from my experience, is when I gained like the most amount of muscle. Like I literally exploded, right? I went from like really, really skinny to like big. I exploded. Right now, as you can see, I'm on a cut, so I am a little bit leaner. I do look a little bit smaller, but I'm gonna start bulking up pretty soon though. I'll probably bulk up in like a month. I kind of want to, right now I'm at a point in my life where I'm trying to prioritize being lean. But what I was saying though is that now is the time to build your physique. Now is the time to start getting locked in. You got to be consistent. You got to be consistent with it. Especially if you're consistent, the newbie gains will reward you, right? Like you can see some crazy transformation in the next 3 to 4 or 6 months if you just lock in, consistent. You just show up. Just show up every single day. Make sure you're hitting your workouts. Like even if you like half-ass it, just show up, right? It's just about paying your dues, ticking the box, right? You just tick the box at least 3 to 4 times a week, right? Because a lot of you guys, you do this thing where it's like, you'll show up for 2-3 weeks and then you stop, and then you come back in 3 months, and then maybe you fell off winter arc, and then you're gonna come back in January and you're gonna be like, new year, new me, right? And then you're gonna start for like maybe 3. You might be good for all of January, but then February comes along, Valentine's Day, you guys wanna like chill out, whatever, you're hanging out with your girl, you're eating your chocolates and shit, you get fat and shit, and then after you go 3 months without going to the gym, and then now you're back in summer, you're like, oh shoot, I want to get summer body, right? But you've been slacking off for the last 3 months. Like you guys, that's crazy that a lot of people will literally repeat the same cycle over and over, right? And what I'm getting at is that don't let that be you. Don't let that be you repeating the same cycle over and over. Which is why consistency is gonna be your best bet. So those were my 3 tips on getting shit. I cannot talk for shit today. But those are my 3 tips on how you can build muscle fast as fuck, right? If you just follow these steps, I guarantee you, no bullshit, you will change. You will recreate yourself. You will see the fruits of your labor in the next 3 to 6 months. All you gotta do, eat more high protein meals, progressive overload, and consistency. I guarantee you will see the results. By the way, if you want to work with me personally to accelerate that process, right, and have a guide and someone to guide you throughout the process, a custom plan, you know, so you know that you're in the right hands to your destination, hit the link in the description. I can help you out with that. I'm the guy for that. And remember, there's nothing landing or playing small. Send this to someone who's really skinny and wants to bulk up. And remember, I think I already said that part. Catch you guys next video. See ya.